in High Ridge. Got Dan on the line here. Dan, real quick here, you got some thoughts on the debate. What are you expecting or what are you hoping to see?
I really want to see Vance focus on economic issues, specifically gas prices. We all know that gas prices are way up because Biden cut oil production by 47%. So, of course, gas prices are going to go up. You can't cut production by 47% and think something good's going to happen. He's really got to focus on that.
Yeah. So, Dan, and I think you're right here, is focus on what people are feeling and where it's hitting them, and explain why it's their fault. It wasn't even just reducing the production. It's also immediately cutting off things like the Keystone Pipeline. So the distribution as well. But if you try to get too wonky, people's eyes glaze over.
Yeah.
But if you say, hey, that thing that is hurting right now, that gut punch, here's the guy that punched you. That's what people need to know. Yeah.
Yeah. But Mike, I just lied to you. Oil production last year was higher than it's ever been.
No, that's not true.
Production.
I mean, has not been higher. That's just not true. And the Keystone Pipeline distribution was shut down, which immediately drove. And you've also got the fact that the strategic oil reserve has been depleted to a manner that it's going to cost far more to actually replenish it. I mean, I get what you're trying to do here, but I mean, and you do this. And the thing is that if you're going to call in to be on the left, man, we welcome the debates, but don't fricking lie about it. You're just reinforcing the opinions that people have about you on the left when you call in and just lie about stuff. Production did go down. There were more permits that were issued, but the production's not up yet. And that's after the permits were restricted by the Biden administration. So you can have your own feelings and try to do the gotcha garbage, but that's just not true. You act like we don't read about this stuff here before we go on the air.
You sort of don't. The Keystone Pipeline was never even in production. So how did that affect?
They were building it. Cut this liar off. I'll have a discussion with anybody. Mark down that number. I will deal with anybody on the other side
who does it in good faith.
Who does it in good faith?
Yeah,
listen,
that's the real issue here.
Dan Schaefer, came in.
Yeah,
we disagreed on
everything. But we had a good conversation.
And that's the thing is, I don't think all leftists are liars.
Right.
I think that guy is.
Yes.
The Keystone Pipeline was already underway on day one. There was an executive order that stopped it.
Yes. There were people who lost their jobs.
It wasn't on paper. There were people being paid to build it.
Yes. That was a real thing. And also, oil production is a futures thing. Right. So if you're expecting, hey, this is going to increase the distribution capability, that's what affects prices.
I welcome the people who want to call in and disagree with me. I think that's more interesting.
Yes.
But if you just admit I'm lying to get on the air, okay, well, we can't have a good faith conversation.
No.
And also you just reinforce what just about every conservative thinks of liberals anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're a bunch of disingenuous a-holes.
And they're not all that way.
Yeah. And clearly they're not.
Okay.
I mean, you like you said, Dan Schaefer was not that.
Here's the thing. Email me and make your case if you want to make peace on this, but you're not acting in good faith. You're not acting honestly. You're acting with terrible character. I dare you to find another conservative station that's going to be more open to other perspectives, not just in St. Louis, but anywhere else. So you want to abuse the fact that we want to come on. And also he kind of lied to get on the air too, as well. He said, I'll talk about the debate, but then he wanted to, and
switched over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think one of the other issues.
It doesn't even piss me off because he's wrong on the issues. It pisses me off because it's another condescending, arrogant, and wrong leftist.
And we had Biden coming out and actually saying, hey, and telling voters, we're going to shut down the fossil fuel industry. Right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to shut it down. And so, fine. How's R&D going to develop then? Companies aren't going to say, hey, I want to do all the research and find out where we can drill and apply for the permits and do the leases. They're going to say, well, then, okay, we're not going to do anything.
That's not even the same name that he gave last time when he did that, is it?
Don't remember.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's the thing. You try to do things in good faith. And I don't know how many times we've gotten calls like, listen, I completely disagree with you, but here's what I think. You know what we do? We give you actually more time because I think it's more of an interesting conversation. But you do it in good faith just like we do. I mean, are you going to get somebody who calls in who's really conservative going to get that kind of time on NPR? No.
Not at all.
You're going to get it on, a left-wing community station? No. We have enough division within people on the right between actual conservatives and MAGA and the more kind of establishment kinds of different parts of the GOP and those on the right and the libertarians and all this sort of stuff, And so if you want to play the gotcha game, go ahead, but understand that exchange just showed that I'm a hell of a lot smarter than you are and better read on this. So you want to have a conversation, email me. I put my email out there for everybody every day. Go ahead and do it. But a talk show is about talking. I love it when people call. But we're going to have honest conversations.
Yeah, we kind of have to. We have to.
Well, and that's one, it's good radio. And secondly, I know some people do this for sport. It's one of the reasons I don't do a lot on Twitter. I post, hey, we did this. Occasionally I'll have something out there. But because everybody is so toxic on places like Twitter and X. And that's the kind of phone call we got right there. A debate is a great thing. And I want to debate, and a good zinger is fine.
Sure. Yeah.
But this is the kind of garbage, and you wonder why we're so divided. How does this happen?
Because we can't have conversations.
Right.
Look, good faith conversation is absolutely one of the most important things to move forward in a liberalized democratic republic like we have here. I mean, only through conversation can we actually get through some of these issues, and it's only if we're going to be willing to be honest with one another.
Right.
So,
yeah, and you can disagree, and I could think you're wrong till the day is long.
Right.
Honestly, I would rather sometimes have the conversation with somebody like that I'm like, I have no idea how you see the world the way you see the world. But one of the things that we get feedback 3.5 years of doing this show, people say, man, I don't always agree with you, Mike, but at least I know what's going on in the world by the time I get to work. Mission accomplished. I've had many people tell me when they figure out, either they hear my voice or like, hey, you're the guy on the radio, or they see us because we're on video or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I don't agree with you, but man, I like your show. At least you listen. At least you let other people speak up. Because we said from day one, this show is about everybody's view.
Yep. And we had another caller who couldn't stay on. It might have been Marty, who mentioned about the Indians who lived in that area of the pipeline, who sued because they were losing the money that they were supposed to be getting from the lease for the pipeline.
Yep.
So you want to debate, read from a better variety of sources, be smarter.
And don't just look for confirmation biased information. Because that's one thing that we do that occasionally on the right, not nearly as much I think as they do on the left, because there's so much more out there for them to be justified. But look at the counter sources. Make sure you're covering your counterfactuals, and just kind of be better at it.
I've had some people get irritated with me because there are fringe sites on the right that I've said, don't send me a link from there. I'm not listening. They're not credible. Even if they get something right from time to time, they're not credible. I'm telling you right now, don't send me something from the Gateway Pundit. I won't even click it. Don't send me something from InfoWars. I won't click it. I won't even read it. There are plenty of conservative sites that have credibility. Those don't. So I'm careful where I get my information. And so, yeah, we'll do this other thing here in about 4 minutes. It's
frustrating.
It's frustrating because we come on here with good faith. We see the world from a conservative lens.
Yeah,
without a doubt. But I dare you to find another show on the right or the left in St. Louis that is more open to engaging in the conversations than we are. I dare you. But we're the smarter show, or at least we try to be, and that means including perspectives that disagree with us. But you have to be intellectually honest and demonstrate decent human character, which that guy just did not, whatever his real name is, because he lied about other stuff. So who knows what his name is? Screw him.